What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here with the distance. I'm going to talk about this July 9th bout between Paul Williams and Erislandy Lara. The fight takes place on July 9th on HBO. Um, it's not for any championship. It's just I believe it's a light middleweight fight, light middleweight or middleweight fight. Puts together two challengers: former champion or former titleist Paul Williams against the prospect Erislandy Lara, who's now a contender. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup, and looking at all the little forums and stuff, people are saying Paul Williams is back. Paul Williams is going to be better than ever. To me, I don't know. I can't really say if Fire is going to be better than ever when Fire gets in the ring and pretty much looks the same each and every bout and has trouble against the same type of fighter. And that same type of fighter are slick southpaws. Paul Williams has trouble against slick southpaw fighters, and the only southpaw fighter that he was able to defeat was Winky Wright. To me, and this is just my opinion, I really don't think Paul Williams is a southpaw. I really think he's an orthodox fighter that fights from a southpaw position. And that's being said because he's very dependent on his right hand. He's very dependent on his right hand. I think he has more power in his right hand than he does the left hand. I just think he's more of a orthodox fighter that fights from a southpaw position. And that's only my opinion. And me personally, I could tell, left-handed fighter from a right-handed fighter, and it's more likely because I'm left-handed myself, and I can pretty much, look at a fighter and tell if they're right or left-handed, whether or not they really are. Who knows with Paul Williams? But I just think he's more of a orthodox fighter fighting from a southpaw stance. And also, I just think if he's talking about being back and better than ever, I think he needs a new trainer. That's just my opinion. I think he needs a new trainer. Peterson has brought his career so far, and to be honest, I think if Paul Williams was like about, if you decrease about 6 inches and you take away, about 9 inches of that reach, then he wouldn't have been considered a couple years ago one of the pound for pound best. He comes to see each and every fight, pretty much the same fighter coming in and throwing a lot of volume shots, and pretty much getting away with throwing like 100 punches around. And against Sergio Martinez, that kind of backfired because he still made the same mistakes he made in February 2008, that he did against Carlos Quintana when he lost his WBO welterweight title in his first defense. And even though it was a fight on short notice, with the style like Williams, he should pretty much have an advantage over all the fighters that he faces. But he doesn't. He doesn't fight tall. I think Lampley said it best when he said he let his head, his head and shoulders go over his feet, and he got caught. His defense has always been quite suspect. He always got hit with shots that, he shouldn't have been hit with, from crouching down, not protecting himself, and and I think the problem is nobody's really teaching him. Nobody's really teaching him, the basics. That's why his technique is somewhat flawed. But don't worry, I'm not gonna sit here and just criticize Williams in this video, or only criticize him because let's go to Erislandy Lara. Erislandy Lara is a good fighter. He's a good fighter, standout amateur. But in a couple fights in the last couple of years, he has been getting better, but he's shown a few deficiencies as well. If you throw a lot of punches at Lara, Lara doesn't really take the lead. He fights most of the time at a slow pace, and his footwork is all right. His footwork, I'll admit, is gradually getting better. But against a fighter that gets inside of his feet and throws numerous punches, he has trouble against. Um, the fight against the fight back in March that ended in a draw. I thought the other guy beat him. Um, but pretty much Lara, I think, from a if you look at his technique, is much better than Williams. If you look at his technique, but along with technique and boxing ability, I think the physical, I think possibly the physical, the size and pretty much the activity of Paul Williams could be a significant advantage for Paul Williams. So for Paul Williams to win this fight, Paul Williams is gonna have. I really don't know what Paul Williams is gonna bring to the table in this fight, because he's shown that he can't a fight at a slow pace. Every fight for Paul Williams is he has to fight at a fast, intense pace. So in this fight against Lara, he's pretty much gonna have to use his jab a lot more. In this fight, he's gonna have to use his jab to get inside and throw punches. And he has good activity rate. He has good activity rate. So use the jab to throw volume punches. Um, continuously come forward, pressure him, and it's all about getting. It's all about. I think he could possibly, if he wanted to. I think it could also be in the footing, even though Paul Williams' footwork is not too good. It's more of him, standing and walking around, more than anything else. But if he can position his foot a little bit outside of his lead foot, um, a punch that, a shot that that he wants to look for is a right hook. Position his foot outside of Lara's lead foot, and kind of I think maybe kind of give it like a bit of a 45-degree turn in a way, and it sets up this kind of this angle to where he can an angle and position to where he can land that punch, if he wanted to. And that's just from sheer observation, because he has a long reach, and I think he'll be in position to throw that punch, if it's from that position, a power right hook, not a volume right hook, that he tends to throw. And he wants to keep him on the defensive. If he throws his volume punches, he'll definitely be on the defensive, but the volume punch is gonna have to come fast, and it's gonna have to be consistent work rate, and even body punches. Try to wear him down and walk him down, and I think Paul Williams could very well win this fight. Erislandy Lara in this fight, he with Paul Williams having a longer reach and most of the time telegraphing his punches, Erislandy Lara has to take advantage of those flaws. So for Erislandy Lara to win this fight, he's gonna have to get off first. He's gonna have to use Paul Williams' aggression against him, and use the fighter's aggression against him. You throw counter shots. You counter shots, or you come in between those shots, and also more likely make it more, move around the ring. Don't make it, the center of the ring or a rope fight for him. Just move around the ring, and pretty much, if he moves, if he's slick and counters, counter punches, using Williams' aggression against him, I think just those keys alone could beat Williams. Moving around the ring, countering, and using that aggression against him. Now he's not going to be able to counter over his jab. That's out of the picture. That's not going to happen. But but he can come in between Williams' punches. Because Williams sometimes gets too wide, sometimes it gets too wild, sometimes, sometimes he's not really protecting himself. Sometimes, he crouches down, and that's just gonna make an easy target for Lara, who's fairly accurate with his counter shots. So, who I think is gonna win this fight? I'm gonna go with Paul Williams in this fight. I think Paul Williams is a stylistic nightmare for Erislandy Lara. Though Erislandy Lara is better from a technical standpoint. I think from a physical standpoint, Paul Williams is intimidating. I think he's intimidating, but I just think he has the tools to win this fight. Volume punching. If he's able to get inside, using the jab to get inside, and his volume punching, using a very effective work rate, working intensely to win this fight. So I'm going to go with Paul Williams by unanimous decision. So anyway, guys, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.